This is Good Morning Jacksonville.
All right, good morning to you. I hope you're having a great one. So this morning, the St. Johns County Student Advisory Council is going to pass along its ideas on school safety to the superintendent there. The upperclassmen brainstormed on different ways to keep kids safe after this month's shooting at a Parkland high school. Today, their ideas are going to be brought to the board during a workshop all on school safety, and of course we'll let you know what comes out of that. Now, in Clay County, an elementary school custodian now behind bars accused of molesting a 13-year-old girl.
Disturbing story here. 27-year-old Michael Scoville, he worked at Wilkerson Elementary, that's in Middleburg, and neighbors are encouraging other victims to come forward. Now, the case is still under investigation. And in other news, flooding continues to threaten communities along the Ohio River, hitting its highest level in 20 years. Cleanup will begin as the water levels begin to subside. But what does that mean for us right here on the First Coast? For more on that, we want to check in now with your storm expert, meteorologist Mike Crangley.
Good morning. Yeah, I wish I could say some of that moisture. We could have just a little bit of that rain, and unfortunately the pattern not set for us. It looks like more of a drought threat for us as we go into the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we're going to start talking about this cool stabilizing breeze that blows in today. So it's about finding the winter sweater again. I mean, we're talking about temperatures that have fallen to 51 now in Waycross. A reminder, it's still winter in Jacksonville, 59 degrees, 64 in Palatka. So as we wake up, we're starting to see that change. 6 degrees cooler compared to 24 hours ago in Waycross. But by the time we go to this afternoon, I think when all's said and done, it'll feel 20 to 30 degrees cooler. We're seeing a little fog behind the front with some cooling in the atmosphere, especially inland areas. So be careful. Waycross, Ware County over to Pierce County and Brantley County right now. That'll start to expand as we head through this morning. So we have the yellow light for the fog, 58, and finding those jackets that may slow you down, and then a breezy finish with highs only of 68. Now let's get to Katie in the ViStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thanks, Mike. So we are watching 95 southbound near International Golf Parkway. You've got a vehicle fire, and you can kind of see it here towards the median, as well as kind of that guardrail that has damage. But the southbound lanes appear to be blocked near International Golf Parkway. So let's take a look here towards your traffic maps. Again, this is the southbound side. The northbound side is moving, but it's moving pretty slow because you got a bit of an onlooker delay as people pass by. So those southbound lanes are blocked, which means your detour route would be to get off at County Road 210, go over towards US 1 and use US 1 to go southbound. As we get more information about what happened here and when those lanes might reopen, we'll let you know. Back to you.
This morning, police need your help to find this woman. She's on your screen. Her name is Annette Ann Mitchell. She's 26 years old, about 5'7" and weighs 150 pounds. JSO says she's been missing since the 23rd. If you know where she is, you know anything about her disappearance, you're urged to please call police.
Okay, listen, it's an issue we've probably all been faced with driving through the neighborhood, driving through the street, and you run into a pothole. They are pesky, and they can be more than just a simple annoyance as they rock you and roll you in the car and you bounce over them. They can really cause a lot of damage to your vehicle, and that's exactly what happened to one Jacksonville man with his pickup truck. He ended up in one of those potholes, had to spend a lot of money, and he wants the city to pay for it, but unfortunately, there's a not-so-fast situation here. Alex Ositis joining us now live with the city's response. Alex, doesn't look like he's going to be getting compensated anytime soon.
No, and that's exactly what he was hoping for, Lou. I want to show you, though, this pothole is fixed, but if you can picture with me, it was about this big from tip to tip of my fingers here, and now it's fixed, but the man's still on the hook, and the problem now, he owes thousands of dollars for repairs in his truck that he wants the city to fix. He's already filed a claim a couple months ago, but the damage that it caused is he's hoping that the city will pony up. A lack of cones or signs made that 6-foot crater almost invisible during a November rain. $2,300 later, Victor Laternet's truck still needs to be fixed, and while he filed a claim with the city, they rejected it, saying that he knew about the pothole being there and the city would eventually make repairs. Now, we also spoke with an attorney with an active case against the city with a similar situation. Have a listen to what these men have to say.
Wasn't being repaired. It was repaired when the news came out and highlighted that story. That's when the workers came out.
He would immediately place some kind of warning sign to warn drivers of the dangerous condition as soon as they know about it.
Now, we pulled the records from this city over the last 2 years, showing that over 800 claims have been filed and that are related to potholes just like this one across the city. We're live in Springfield. Alex Ositis, First Coast News, on your side.
Well, after a month-long delay, White House Communications Director Hope Hicks will face lawmakers today in a closed-door interview that's topping your national headlines on this Tuesday morning. Hicks will appear before the House Intelligence Committee probing Russia's interference in the 2016 presidential election. Hicks was initially set to appear in January, but her interview was canceled in the wake of the dramatic standoff with former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon that resulted in his subpoena. Now, it's unclear how much she plans to tell lawmakers. Numerous Trump associates have refused to answer committee questions in recent closed-door sessions. And the scandal surrounding the disgraced gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar has inspired legislation to better protect survivors of sexual assault. Michigan lawmakers announced a 10-bill package extending the statute of limitations both civilly and criminally, expanding mandatory reporters to include youth coaches and increasing the penalties of child pornography. Several former gymnasts say that the changes are necessary to protect future generations of gymnasts. Well, two women, they fought for their lives against an armed robber inside of their family business. You have got to check out this surveillance video. It shows them at work when a man walks right in with a shotgun demanding money. When the two were crouched behind the counter, you can see there the suspect, Tyrone Lee, that's what police say who he is, he fires at them. The two reach for their own weapons and then try to lock Lee between the exit doors, but that system failed. Well, one woman, she fired several shots as the suspect came back in the store. He was hit several times and went to the hospital for treatment. Police say when he's released from the hospital, he will be taken to jail. Wow. Well, a golden moment before the Vegas Golden Knights LA Kings game in Los Angeles Monday night. The Kings honored the Olympic gold medal winning USA women's national hockey team with a video tribute. Now, when team captain Megan Dugan, she delivered the ceremonial puck drop. This happened in South Korea. The U.S. squad, they gave the United States its second gold medal ever in women's ice hockey with a 3-2 shootout victory over Canada. So proud of them. Still excited about that, the Winter Olympics. I know it's gone, Lou, but we're still talking about it.
Absolutely.
The team will continue their welcome home victory tour heading to Tampa on Wednesday.
That's awesome. Yeah, go see a Tampa Bay Lightning game. It's right down the road. You can give a standing ovation to the women's hockey team. Outstanding stuff. It still sounds good to say they beat Canada, too. All right, coming up next on Good Morning Jacksonville, we're hearing from the stepfather of the Orange Park sailor who will be laid to rest today. We'll have more details coming up in a live report. Stay right there. It's 5:08. We're back with more Good Morning Jacksonville.
And welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville on this Tuesday morning. Here's some good news. Summer's approaching, and this year you will be able to go to the Jacksonville Beach Pier. It's set to partially open on Thursday, the first day of March. The pier has been closed since Hurricane Matthew destroyed most of it back in 2016. Now, there's still no timetable for when it will be fully reopened, but still, we get a little bit, and that counts, and I'm excited about it.
Feels like it's been a while since
Yes.
it was Matthew that damaged that pier.
Oh boy, yeah, it's been through a lot. Matthew, Irma, and Thursday, of course, the first day of March, so you can bring in March, maybe heading to the Jacksonville Beach Pier, Katie. We've got beach weather. Temperatures could actually start near 80 degrees. Pretty amazing.
But are they going to take a dip before that?
Oh yes, today we've got the chill. So let's take a look. First, we'll start with those heading to the pier. And the warmest day of the next three is definitely for the Jacksonville Pier opening. Look at this, low to mid 80s from the beach inland. But here's the big dip Katie was alluding to. There's that 67 for a high today. So temperatures stuck in the 60s. It's a one-day taste of winter. 2 warm days, a warm finish to February, and then start to March. And then we're going to see the cool weather here to stay for more than a day. In fact, we'll talk more about that this morning. But Mike Kaminsky making my day already. We have the waxing gibbous moon that was setting this morning downtown. Isn't that beautiful? And it's not going to be full officially until Thursday night. Already looked pretty full to me. We take a look at the next 12 hours, though, and we're flatlining, Katie. We got some flat numbers there, so it looks like what you see is what you get. We're waking up with upper 50s, and we'll just struggle to the middle to upper 60s for highs.
It's a good thing I didn't put away my jacket just yet.
Yes.
I had a feeling it might drop down. All right, good morning, guys. So let's talk about what's going on right now along 95 southbound. So this is a look at southbound 95 near International Golf Parkway. There was looks like a truck fire as well as some damage to the guardrail in that area, but those southbound lanes there are blocked. So keep that in mind, that if you're traveling on 95 southbound, you probably want to take maybe US 1 there instead, because you're probably going to be routed off at County Road 210. If you're traveling in Clay County, right now no reported problems along Blanding or 17. Even when you look up there, the Buckman Bridge looks pretty good. So really the only issue that we are following right now is that crash along 95. But as soon as we get any information about maybe the lanes reopening or I see traffic start to go through, I'll let you know right away.
So he had a passion for medicine and flying, and today Navy Lieutenant James Mazzucchelli will be remembered for sacrificing his life doing exactly what he loved. First Coast News' Lindsay Boat, she is live this morning, and how local military members and friends are remembering the sailor from Orange Park. Lindsay.
Yeah, good morning, Keitha. They're going to be remembering him at Camp Pendleton today, and then eventually they'll be out here in Fleming Island at Sacred Heart Catholic Church remembering him as well. So there was an accident that happened last Wednesday out at Camp Pendleton. Spinning helicopter blades struck Mazzucchelli, and he eventually succumbed to his injuries. According to family, that memorial service will be at 3 o'clock today. If you have family members who are out there at Camp Pendleton, they are invited to attend, but they haven't set a date or time yet for the funeral mass here at this Catholic church. The family is asking, though, in lieu of flowers, to support two charities instead, the Semper Fi Fund and the United Network for Organ Sharing, which has a 10,000 square foot memorial building to honor those who have donated organs and their families, and that building is supported by those donations. So a little bit about Mazzucchelli. He was a flight surgeon assigned to Marine Light Attack Helicopter Squadron 267 out of Camp Pendleton, and we spoke with his stepfather, David Shears. He says that he's been amazed at the amount of support that he's received from family and friends, and how many circles his stepson was a part of through his whole life.
Decided that wasn't going to serve his need to help people like he wanted to. So that's why he made the change, and he knew that if he went into medicine, he could learn how to really help people and have the ability to change people's lives.
Now, he actually had a business degree from Drexel University, and then once he joined the Navy is when he decided that he wanted to take that career path into medicine. We'll have much more about his life coming up throughout Good Morning Jacksonville. Reporting live in Fleming Island, Lindsay Boach, First Coast News on your side.
I started making an Amazon wish list as if I was a teacher and it was my classroom, what I would want the messages to be, and I posted it on Facebook, and I tagged as many people as I could all over the country.
Yeah, one woman now making sure that the return to Stoneman Douglas High School is going to be easy for teachers and students after this month's shooting. Her story just 2 minutes from now. Stay right there. It's Good Morning Jacksonville.
This is Good Morning Jacksonville.
Good morning to you. It's now 5:18. This morning, police need your help finding this woman, Annette Ann Mitchell, 26 years old. We're told she's 5'7", 150 pounds. Mitchell says she's been missing since the 23rd. So if you know where she is, if you've seen her or recognize her, know anything about her disappearance, please call police.
Well, it began as a project to help teachers return to normalcy at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. One woman created a Facebook post that resulted in thousands of supplies being sent to a clubhouse in Parkland, Florida from all over the country. Students also recovering from the tragedy, they pitched in to help.
They support us, so I just want to show that we are supporting them and we're here to supply them with whatever they need to make them feel comfortable and feel welcome back at school.
What an awesome idea. Teachers are getting set up in their classrooms today, and students will go back to school tomorrow. We're going to have crews there all day long. Be sure to stay with us here at First Coast News, both on air and online, and be sure to download the First Coast News app for updates right to the palm of your hand.
Going to be a surreal feeling going back to school there. My goodness. Well, it has been nearly 2 weeks since the shooting. Students went out to the school Sunday as they prepare to get back to class, and Monday President Trump spoke to the nation's governors saying he would have taken action if he were there.
You know, I really believe, you don't know until you test it, but I think I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon. And I think most of the people in this room would have done that too. because I know most of you. But the way they performed was really a disgrace.
The president also vowed he'd single-handedly eliminate so-called bump stocks and said he met with NRA leaders over the weekend. President Trump says the NRA wants to do the right thing, including on background checks, but that he'd fight them if necessary for more restrictions.
Now, after the fallout with the Broward County Deputy Atlantic Beach Police Chief Michelle Cook, she tweeted this out, and the message has gone viral. It says, if you're an officer and you refuse to run toward gunfire, you should quit.
Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, powered by AC Designs.
All right, woke up today and I said, boy, the air conditioner was turned down low. I'm not sure who turned down the air conditioner in the Prangley house in the middle of the night, but it was cold. But hey, we give the AC a break today. We can open some windows, get some fresh air. The runners, you've got this. We've gone from a 2 to a 4 in a blink of an eye. So you got this kind of day. And that reminds me, we've got the 5K marching for colon cancer on Saturday. That's at noon. Temperatures low to mid 60s. Seawalk Pavilion. See you there. We'll see a wind out of the northeast at 10 to 15. Now, winter returns. That's our big headline today. That wind gusting at times to 20 miles per hour at the beach. So yes, get out those jackets. It will be our coolest day in 2 weeks. In fact, you got to take a look at this. These temperatures just stuck in place. I was talking about this with Katie. So mid to upper 60s, maybe lucky to nip 70 from Plaquemine to Palm Coast to Gainesville. But again, it's about a day where we're going to feel about 20 to 30 degrees cooler than yesterday. Isolated showers, not a huge deal. I know we've got the UNF game against Florida. They're playing the Gators in baseball. They'll be able to play ball, but just keep in mind there could be a quick shower, real quick, coming in from the ocean as we head into late afternoon and this evening. Now, I wanted to show you, we do have some changes tomorrow. Okay, so one day where we're going to see another big change. We'll go from 67 today to 80 to finish February. And then Thursday, near record highs before the cool air is here to stay into the weekend. Now let's get to Katie Jeffries in that 5-star Credit Union Traffic Center.
Hey, good morning. All right, so your time is 5:21. Taking a look at some of your drive times right now for I-10. So if you're driving in along I-10 from 301 there in Baldwin all the way towards downtown, about a 14 to 15 minute ride. No problems right now along I-10. I'm not even seeing any fog out there this morning, so that's pretty good. But if you're on 95, let's take a look at 95 southbound near International Golf Parkway. We had a truck fire earlier this morning, and that's why those southbound lanes here are blocked. That northbound side, though, it is moving. It's a little slow from an onlooker delay, but you can see all the activity still here along 95 southbound at International Golf Parkway. Let's take a quick look towards your traffic maps, because one of the ways around it would be to get off at County Road 210, go east over to US 1 and use US 1 to go southbound. And I believe that's the detour route that they're sending people on. So just keep that in mind when those lanes reopen along 95 southbound near International Golf Parkway. I'll let you know, but for now, they're closed. Back to you.
Okay, so DNA tests are becoming more and more popular. I'm talking about the take-home version of a DNA test, but have you ever wondered how accurate they truly are? So, our very own Jessica Clark sent in the same DNA sample, her own, to several different companies to see if she'd get the same results. You can see part 1 of that series right now on our website, firstcoastnews.com. The results are actually very interesting. I hope you'll take a look at that. Part 2 airs tonight, First Coast News at 11.
And coming up, so would you trust your skin, hair, and nails to maybe someone who's only had a couple of weeks of training? It's a big topic this morning, and of course I have an answer, and I'm headed to the desk. We'll break it down in just 2 minutes. All right, welcome back. So it's a big talker trending this morning. What do you think about a new bill that could shorten beauty school training? So there's a Florida bill that if passed, your hairstylist, your barber, nail and skin techs, they might be able to get to work sooner than before. So now we know that there are so many problems that you can encounter with skin and hair. Trust me, I have seen them. A lot of times I have to keep silent when I see them, but okay, let's not go there. But here is an idea of what the bill would do if passed. So training for barbers would reduce from 40 weeks to 14 weeks. Training on nails would be cut down from 7 weeks to 4 weeks. And then training for skin would reduce from 8 weeks to 4.5 weeks. Now, of course, there's a lot to learn in an industry like this because you put the wrong chemicals in hair, you put the wrong things on a person's face, that could be
Problematic?
Yes, very. Guys, what do you think?
So they say they want to do this to get people in the workforce faster.
A little faster,
I
yes.
get that. Here's my deal, and my perspective on this is so limited because the barber, for me, is just kind of giving me that straight razor shave. I mean, so he goes to school for 14 weeks or whatever. I'm still not going to that guy. I'm being honest. I'm not going to the guy fresh out of school, whether it's the 14 or 40 weeks. I want that guy who's been doing barbering for 10 years.
Right.
And now he's got that professional experience.
Yeah, thinking about it, because they get pretty close with the blades to shave you guys, so
highly
you
close.
get a little nervous and
Don't want that.
we're going to
Want
pass
that
on that.
sure, steady hand. I've
Yeah.
done this 1,000 times.
I say no way, no how.
So Keith, you get your nails done and everything
I get
like that.
everything
So
done.
yeah. So what do you? How would that really
There's
you're just
no
not
way.
gonna let anybody just do.
Of course not. That's ridiculous.
See, I've been going to the same barber since I was born.
Right.
Wow.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
I
So
get
I've been
that.
going to the same barber. So I mean, I'm really funny about who's going to touch my hair anyway. But
Well, don't you ask that question when you go to the barber or you go to the beauty parlor? And don't you say, how long have you been doing this? You know, I mean, do you ask that question, like, have you been doing it for a number of years when you go for that first time, or do you just
I won't even sit in your chair, step foot through your doors until I know all of that. I need to know your background.
Everything, because it's so
where you've been,
important.
who you've worked on. Let me see some samples, all that good stuff.
I think what happens with this is if it does pass, I think, sure, the in-book and in-school training probably minimizes, but on-the-job training is going to have to be big before some manager is going to put them on the floor.
In any field across the board, yeah.
Amen. All right, we're right back after this.
This is Good Morning Jacksonville.
Hey, good Tuesday morning. So this week, students at Marjorie Stoneman High School will try to return to some sense of normalcy after this month's deadly shooting. The students will return to class tomorrow, 2 weeks after 17 people were killed in Parkland, Florida. You're going to hear what action parents want to see happen to prevent this from taking place again.
Your second big story here this morning, the city of Jacksonville says it is not responsible at this point if your car gets ruined or somewhat damaged because of a pothole the city hasn't fixed. Now, there are certain circumstances here, but one local resident's now fighting back because of damage done to his truck from that very pothole you see there. We'll have a live report for you.
Hey, guess what? The Jacksonville Beach Pier is set to open on Thursday. Finally.
Okay.
Well, partially. Let's clarify that. Not the entire thing.
But it's better than nothing.
Counts. Exactly.
Absolutely. So Hurricane Matthew destroyed the pier. You see the end. Irma didn't do it any favors either. So we'll get a little bit of some summer love there on the pier again, at least some form of it. Mike Prangley standing by. I know he's excited about his fishing back on the pier again. Going to go catch a whiting, huh, Mike?
Yeah, hey, the fish are biting again. And I tell you what, Thursday's Jacksonville Beach Pier forecast. I know today it's all about a winter's Tuesday with that winter wind, but check it out. We're not done with beach weather just yet this week. We warm up to finish February, and our start to March looks glorious. A great day on the pier, southwest winds, a high temperature of 80 degrees. So snap those pictures and we will share them. Good to see the Jacksonville Beach Pier is back. Now we take a look at our temperatures this morning, and winter is back. We're talking 62 St. Augustine to 64 in Orange Park. These are the warm spots. We're down in the low 50s in Waycross, 55 Lake City. Good morning, Palaca, 63. Even though it doesn't feel too bad right now, the wind's going to kick up and those temperatures will hold about steady today. So feeling much chillier this afternoon with those highs stuck in the 60s. We'll take a look at the ups and downs, including the latest on the weekend, coming your way. Now let's get to Katie Jeffries in the 5-Star Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thanks, Mike. Keeping my eyes here along 95 southbound near International Golf Parkway, where there was a truck fire this morning, and you still have a lot of activity happening here. This happened just before 4 a.m. The southbound lanes of 95, they are blocked at the moment. The northbound lanes there you can see are open. Let's take a look here towards your traffic map. So again, this is 95 southbound at International Golf Parkway, so St. Johns County area. And you can see here, it looks like traffic is getting past County Road 210, so I believe they're routing it off here at International Golf Parkway over towards US 1, and then you can use US 1 to get towards the St. Augustine area, or depending on where you're going, you can take State Road 16 back to 95 and then get back on 95 southbound. So keep that in mind this morning. We don't have time yet on when 95 southbound will reopen, but as soon as I see cars getting through there, I'll let you know.
Hi, Katie. Well, police are still searching for this woman right here on your screen. Her name is Annette Ann Mitchell. She's 26 years old, about 5'7" and 150 pounds. JSO says she's been missing since the 23rd. If you know where she is, you have any idea about her disappearance, you're urged to please call police.
So this morning, a 27-year-old man behind bars accused of molesting a 13-year-old girl. Michael Scoble worked at Wilkerson Elementary in Middleburg. as a custodian. They're free on your screen right now. The teen says he touched her inappropriately while they were on his bed. Now, it's still unclear how the teen ended up there in his bed. Neighbors are encouraging other potential victims to come forward. Scoble was previously a custodian at Fleming Island High School. Administrators say the incident is still under investigation.
Well, this is a pain. You drive over them and instantly you worry about your tires. We're talking about potholes, and they can cause some serious damage to your car. That's exactly what happened to one Jacksonville man, and now he wants the city to pay up. First Coast News' Alex Osadis is on your side this morning with more on how the city is responding to his complaint. Alex.
Keitha, good morning. And this has just been a pothole pain for this man. And you can see that it's been fixed here on 3rd and Liberty, but the problems keep continuing for this guy who is seeking the damages, about $2,300 to be paid by the city. However, it was rejected by the city just a few days ago, and now he's planning to go to small claims court in order to get the money back to fix his truck. This damage caused after a November rain made a 6-foot crater in the street. The lack of cones or signs made it almost invisible for this man to see. But $2,300 later, Victor Letournette said his truck was nearly stuck in this pothole. He filed a claim with the city, but they rejected it, saying that he knew about it and that the city would eventually make repairs. Now, we also spoke with an attorney who has an active case against the city with a very similar situation. Take a listen to what both of these men have to say about this.
They failed to safeguard that initial pothole for months.
Reasonable to assume that there is some liability on her part, but then there's also some liability on the city's part, I would think, if they're not warning drivers of the dangerous condition that exists.
Now, this problem persists around the city. We pulled the records from the last 2 years. Dating back to 2015, there's been 825 cases of potholes, similar to this, being damaging to property and cars around the city. We're live in Springfield. Alex Osadis, First Coast News, on your side.
Frustrating stuff, Alex. Thank you so much. All right, in St. Johns County now, specifically St. Augustine, how to handle panhandling, a very big question for St. Augustine city leaders. Monday night, they discussed choosing specific locations where people can and cannot ask for money. Merchants say panhandling has affected their businesses. Another meeting will be held tonight, looking for a win-win situation here for all involved. Today, Navy Lieutenant James Mazzucchelli will be remembered for sacrificing his life, doing exactly what he loved to do, serving his country. First Coast News' Lindsay Boach live this morning on how local military members and friends are going to remember the sailor from Orange Park. Lindsay, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lewis. Yes, it was an accident that happened last Wednesday. He was hit by a spinning helicopter blade and then died on Saturday from his injuries. He's from the Orange Park area, and while he was stationed out at Camp Pendleton, they'll have a memorial service for him there today. And then back here in Fleming Island at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, they'll have another ceremony, a local ceremony here. They just haven't set a date or a time as of yet. Let's talk about Navy Lieutenant James Mazzucchelli, though. He was his stepfather says, just a wonderful human being, putting others' needs in front of his own. And in lieu of flowers, the family has decided to honor him and to make donations to 2 separate organizations, the Semper Fi Fund and the United Network for Organ Sharing. Mazzucchelli was a flight surgeon who was assigned to the Marine Light Attack Helicopter Squadron 267 out of Camp Pendleton. And again, his stepfather just says that he's been amazed at the amount of support that he has received from friends and family members, and he's just amazed at how many circles his stepson was a part of throughout his life.
James had 2 passions he found. His first passion was medicine. He loved medicine. He loved the science. He loved the problem solving. And he's always had a love of flying.
Now, he actually had a business degree from Drexel University before he decided to be a surgeon in the Navy. And again, we're not sure exactly when they will have a memorial service here at Sacred Heart Catholic Church on 17 in Fleming Island. But as soon as those arrangements are made, we'll let you know. Reporting live this morning in Fleming Island, Lindsay Boach, First Coast News, on your side.
Thanks for that, Lindsay. It's now 38 minutes past the hour. Protecting our students is the #1 priority across the nation right now. Today, Broward County Commissioners will work on a plan for student safety. We're going to have more details coming up in your national headlines in just about 2 minutes. And welcome back, folks. You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville on this Tuesday morning. It's now 5:41. Check out this video. Schools in Rome right now are closed again today. This after the heaviest snowfall in 6 years covered the Eternal City and its famed landmarks in a blanket of white. Yeah, you can see here people took advantage of this. They took some time to play in the snow, having a fun time. And this will have an impact on us here on the First Coast. That's what Mike Prangley says. For more of that, we're going to turn things over now to your storm expert.
Yeah, quite a rare snowfall in Europe right now. Parts of Europe colder than areas of the Arctic Circle. It's really wild weather across the earth. So our weather word this morning is teleconnections. That means one part of the earth, if somebody's unusual weather, unusually warm, somebody else has got to be unusually cold or snowy like Rome. And then for us, we've been unusually warm, and now we're going to the colder side today.
Oh, interesting.
Right,
okay.
So I want to thank
teleconnections.
Teleconnections is our word. So here's another shot of the snowy Coliseum. I want to thank Meredith for this picture. Pretty amazing sight there in Rome. And what is it doing to our jet stream? Well, over the last 2 weeks, it's been like a scene out of summer many times here at home. Jet stream and the wind flow out of the west and southwest. But the weather in Europe is turning those winds more to the northeast for us. In fact, you can see all this blue. That's the very cold weather inundating Europe right now. In fact, they won't make it above freezing in many parts of England today and Scotland. And then in Greenland, they're about 40 degrees warmer than average. And for us, that'll bend the jet stream in an unusual way, where it'll bring in more of a north to northeast wind for us as we get ready for today. So notice 58, sunrise 6:55, and a high of just 68. So we got to find those jackets somehow, some way this morning, Katie.
Hopefully nobody packed them away just yet. All right, let's take a look right now towards your traffic map. So if you are traveling along 95 northbound, just wanted to let you know, there's a chair being reported in the right exit lane there of 95 northbound towards Atlantic Boulevard. You can't be sitting down on the job out there. I'm just kidding. But there's a chair there in that right lane, so please be careful and look out for that. A little more serious here, 95 southbound near International Golf Parkway. We've been telling you throughout the morning it is closed at the moment because of a truck fire. Now it looks like traffic is being routed off there at International Golf Parkway and being sent maybe towards US 1. So if you want, maybe just jump on US 1 this morning. You could avoid 95 southbound altogether, but 95 northbound, those northbound lanes are not impacted.
5:43 is your time. The Broward County Commission is going to meet for the first time since the Parkland, Florida school shooting. At the Fort Lauderdale meeting, commissioners will consider resolutions urging lawmakers to take action on gun control policy and discussing demolishing the building where it all took place at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. That's where 17 students and adults were killed. They're also set to issue a proclamation to honor the Coconut Creek police officer who arrested shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz. We will bring you updates on air and online as soon as we get them. Check this out though, a little act of nature, maybe an act of God. A rainbow greeting teachers and staff returning to work Monday at that high school. You see the rainbow there through the palm trees above some of the many police cars outside of the school. The building where the shooting happened, that's going to stay closed. I know a lot of folks are kind of curious about how this is all going to work with students going back on Wednesday. All right, Citibank credit card customers, you may get a check in the mail very soon. Citigroup says it overcharged its customers by hundreds of millions of dollars in annual interest rates for the past 5 years worth. The average customer is going to get about $190 back. Citi did apologize in a statement saying it did not find evidence of employee misconduct, but that it should have found the issues sooner. The checks will be mailed out later on this year. Okay, check it out. Hundreds of family, friends, fans greeted the gold medal winning U.S. curling team at the airport in Duluth, Minnesota. Loved ones so excited for some time at home after the team spent weeks in South Korea. John Schuster, team skip, hope he says more curling clubs are going to pop up around the nation. And in fact, we've got one in Jacksonville. It's only going to grow. Alex Ositis, Curtis Dvorak gave it a try, if you remember, during our Olympics coverage, which you can see that story. They did an admirable job. It's a tough sport. You can see it on firstcoastnews.com.
A curling team, wow. You should get
Peak
involved in that.
Physical condition.
Are you down, Lou? You want to try it out?
I would love to try it out, in fact. Yes, I think I'm in the right shape for it.
Yeah. Thanks. 45 minutes now past the hour, just ahead on Good Morning Jacksonville. A group of parents are speaking with legislators in Tallahassee today about necessary changes to protect our students. We're going to have those details coming up in just 2 minutes.
This is Good Morning Jacksonville.
And welcome back. It's now 48 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday morning, and JSO needs your help. They're trying to find this woman who's on your screen right now. Her name is Annette Ann Mitchell. She's 26 years old, about 5'7", and we're told she weighs 150 pounds. Police say she's been missing since the 23rd. If you know where she is, if you have any information about her disappearance, you're urged to please call police.
Well, kids first, politics second. That's the message from a group of parents out of Coral Springs, Florida. The parents are meeting with lawmakers this morning to discuss how to keep kids safe. Last week, Governor Rick Scott announced a $450 million action plan. It calls for a ban on gun purchases for anyone younger than 21 and restricting gun purchases from the mentally ill. But some parents are saying that isn't enough.
We have to work on keeping the actual schools safer. I mean, at this point, we need bulletproof doors. It's sad, but that's where we're at.
Again, those parents are going to meet with lawmakers this morning, and tomorrow students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School will go back to class. The building where everything happened going to remain closed. We'll have a crew there for you, bringing you live coverage all day long. We hope you'll stay with us on air and online at firstcoastnews.com. And while you're there, go ahead and download that First Coast News app from the App Store. It's free.
This morning, the St. Johns County Student Advisory Council will pass along their ideas on school safety to the superintendent and then the school board during a workshop on school safety. The upperclassmen brainstormed different methods to keep kids safe after this month's shooting at Parkland, we know, in that area there. Well, that meeting is at 8:30, and we're going to have updates for you on First Coast News at noon. Well, a tribute to victims of the worst mass shooting in Florida's history is now underway. It's being described as a place for both mourning and healing, and it's one step closer to becoming a memorial. Crews got started early Monday, tearing down the old fence around the scene in Orlando, the Pulse nightclub where 49 people were shot and killed last year. It's turning into a wall of tributes where people can leave messages.
I can't lie, I've had a few moments of just watching your place, go through a little transformation. It's a little emotional. It's for them. You know, Pulse was always for them before, and it's for them now. Everything we do here is for them.
The temporary memorial should be finished in about 2 months.
Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, powered by AC Designs.
Happy National Pancake Day, all fired up, and we'll get to the kitchen, but first let's get you to see what nature's cooking up. And yeah, we've got a winter wind returning today. If you're going out to the beach, could be a shocker. I mean, we've been in the 80s even on the sand today. Feeling about 20 to 25 degrees chillier. We got that northeast wind at times gusting over 20, 25 miles per hour. So here it is. The winter wind is back and sweater weather. It's finding that sweater today as our big weather factor. Now, it's going to be our coolest day in 2 weeks, so be ready for that. As far as isolated showers, should not impact the UNF Florida game. Okay, so we're just talking about a moist flow off the Atlantic, but if any showers do develop, very isolated at best, mainly along the coast late today and this evening, so we can keep those plans and enjoy some great baseball out at UNF. Now we take a look at Wednesday. Here's the shift. Nor'easter moves out and we warm right back up to 80 to finish February. So a topsy-turvy forecast. And as we look at the weekend, ups and downs. Yeah, back into the 60s with a north-northeast wind Saturday. And then on Sunday, a high of just 64 degrees. So for the Sheep's Head tournament going on in the Mutt March, make sure you dress those little ones warmly. Yes, get out the doggy sweaters with temperatures in the low to mid 60s. 10-day forecast, here we go. It does look like winter winds out as we head into March, but still mainly dry. Let's get to Katie now in the VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thanks, Mike. So starting with a look at some of your drive times, I know we've been focusing on 95. We'll get there in just a second, but let's first talk about 295. So if you're going across the Buckman Bridge, no reports of any problems, no reports of any delays, 10 minutes either way. Now let's take a live look back there towards 95 southbound at International Golf Parkway. Southbound lanes there remain blocked. It's hard to see, but over here there's a semi that caught fire, so the charred truck is right here. Those northbound southbound lanes are moving without any problems, but wouldn't be surprised if you start to see an onlooker delay on the northbound side. Let's take a look here towards 95. Your traffic maps, 95 southbound. You're probably going to be routed off here at possibly 210 you're probably going to be routed off at International Golf Parkway. You could get off at 210 if you want to avoid the backup over towards US 1 and take US 1 into St. Augustine or back to State Road 16 to get back on 95 southbound. So just plan ahead this morning. When those lanes reopen, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Well, National Pancake Day is finally here. Let's just say I'm headed to the kitchen with Chef Mike. Oh gosh, this should be fun. Stay tuned. And welcome back. It is National Pancake Day, and you probably didn't know this. So IHOP started this back in 2006, but the day, it changes every year. Now, this is all for charity, and they've raised close to $30 million. So from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today, you can get you maybe one free short stack of pancakes. But we're in the kitchen.
I don't know. Hey, come by First Coast News. We've got our own pancakes going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. It's early, right?
It's very early.
And we know coffee's big here at GMJ and chocolate. So my secret ingredient, I know Katie said she likes strawberries, but I like lots of chocolate, kind of like Elf. There you go. So
you look like a pro, Mike. I like what you do. Oh, you're dropping chocolate all over the thing. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. Okay.
And then we've stirred in here, and we'll give it a little pour.
Okay.
And it should be scrumptious. All right.
Now, should I use this?
We got to let it settle.
Oh, we got to let it. Okay,
so,
okay.
Everything's good. So here's the deal. When you put these nice semi-sweet chocolate morsels in your pancakes, you won't need this unhealthy syrup.
No syrup? Really?
Not the way I make them.
Okay, all right.
So can you do that?
Yeah, I think I can do that. Now, I'm actually a waffles person. I don't care for pancakes that much because they're too fluffy for me. For waffles, but I believe you might have me hooked on these.
And usually I make cloud shapes. I kind of poured real quick. It's kind of hold with, this bowl was tough to pour in, but we got a little fair weather cumulus cloud there, and we're going to see some of those fair weather clouds by tomorrow. So we'll talk more about that in the forecast. See how it all ties in together?
Did you forget to turn the heat on?
The heat is 250, 255 on the griddle, so we should be good to go. And we'll go on Facebook Live and see how
we're going to show it.
Okay?
Oh, yes, that's right.
All right. So happy National Pancake Day. It's going to be a great one out there. Just make sure you have the jacket. So pancakes go hand in hand with the cooler weather, don't you think?
I agree.
All right.
5:58 is your time. Coming up on Good Morning Jacksonville at 6, we got some must-see video of a high-speed chase out of California. Other headlines coming your way. Anytime Mike says scrumptious, it's a good morning. Thank you, Mike.